Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I'm going to be doing over the next I'm figuring it's going to take me next couple months, maybe not, maybe it'll only take me a month or two, but right now is kind of a quiet time for my business. February and March tend to be a little on the quiet side, which is fine because it gives me an opportunity to kind of do the things that I want to do and to not just be go, 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 go all the time, right? January is busy at this point. I am quite booked for the majority of January. A lot of people are getting readings and cleansings and Reiki and stuff like that for the new year, which makes sense to start with a nice clean slate. So January is really quite busy. However, towards the end at this point, it starts to really calm down for me, which is that tends to be kind of the trend. And then February and March are pretty slow and quiet. You know, the snow starts to blow, it gets really cold. There's a lot of ice. They don't take care of the roads out here, so traveling out here is not an easy task. There's a lot of drifting snow. There's a lot of issues. So it gets really nice and quiet. And I don't drum up business. I don't get things going because I know that the roads are going to be crap. So I just kind of take the opportunity to slow down and get comfy, spend a little bit of time doing the things that I want to do, whether that's watching TV series or reading books or doing shadow work and some journeying, whether it's getting really deep into like my tarot journaling and meditation and different things like that, right? So it's kind of more of like my me time, which I love, and I'm actually really ready for it this year. I can't wait for it, to tell you the truth. So I've started over the Christmas holidays. I happened to fall upon this book, and I ended up downloading it from my like for Kindle from Kindle on Kindle or whatever you want to say. So I'm gonna start this process. Now, I don't typically work with deities. I'm not necessarily always called to work with deities. I have had deities present themselves to me in the past, and I just don't have the time to be consistent or to pay homage or like to do anything, right? So I've always just kind of bypassed the situation because I just don't have the time to commit to it. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I know when it comes to working with deities and stuff like that, like what you can do is what you can do. And I understand that, but I don't have the time, so I just don't even bother, right? Um, Now recently I've had a couple different deities come forward. The one I will be possibly doing a video on, it's going to be kind of really quite a private journey, but this one is going to be quite personal and private as well too. So I'll only be able to share so much of this journey and this thing that I'm doing with you. Uh, I'm hoping that I'll be able to share a majority of it with you, but you never know, right? You don't know what surfaces and comes forward. Now, in the past, I have had Hekate come forward and kind of present herself to me a couple times in different ways and in different manners. And like I said, I just didn't have the time to dedicate to anything like that, so I never stepped forward. And I never committed to anything, and I never started working with anybody. Um, I'm very much into the feminine energy. Like if I was going to be working with a deity of some sorts, it would definitely be a goddess. It would be a female form. And like I said, Hecate definitely has always kind of been on that back burner, and she's always kind of been there. And it makes sense to me for me to, if I'm going to work with a deity, for it to be her, that would make sense to me. If you knew me and you knew my life and my past and who I was, it would make a lot of sense. Um, Now, the thing that starts with this is I've seen and heard a million people pronounce her name so many different ways. There's obviously the spelling with the C, there's spelling with the K, which one's right, which one's wrong. I've spent a lot of time researching and really reading books and looking at a lot of different things. From what I'm understanding, is the K is the more traditional using Greek letters and is pronounced as Hekate. And then when it's spelt with the C, that tends to be translated in Roman letters, and it's then said Hecate. So both are right. There's not really a wrong one or a right one. Um, and like I said, I've heard people say it a million different ways, but from what I can find and what I'm only finding is it's either Hecate or Hecate. So Hecate, I mean, both sound good to me, but I naturally go and flow towards Hecate. So that's how I'm gonna say it, and that's what resonates with me. Now, with all that being said, let me get to showing you guys what I'm doing and this process I'm kind of starting to take. This is available in book form and it's available to buy on Kindle. And I opted to buy it on Kindle because it was cheaper, honestly. I personally love books. I like the smell of books. I like paper. I like having it. I don't necessarily use Kindle too often, but I'm going to for this because one, it was cheaper, and two, I don't know, I felt a little bit drawn to do it this way. So this way I can bring it to bed. I can read it while I'm in bed getting ready to go to sleep. I've said it before in the past. I live in a 120-year-old decommissioned church. It's dark and shadowy in here. So things like this where the screen lights up makes it really easy for me to read at nighttime or while I'm in bed and all the lights are off. So it just works better for me. So that's what I've decided to do. Now, this is a book by Cyndi Brannen. I don't know. However you say it, you can see it right here. I don't, I'm really bad at sometimes pronouncing people's names and I feel really bad. So no offense if I said it wrong. Now, this is the perfect time of year to take this journey and to do this kind of work. I'm just going to quote the book. To enter Hecate's cave is to embark on the journey back to the soul. It is a lunar quest illuminated by the goddess's torch, following the rattling of her keys and embracing the shadows within, an adventure that is an equal part exciting and daunting. So in this book, you do a lot of work with natural magic through altars, talismans, incantations, and other type of sacred creativity. She asks you during your journey to prepare choosing a winged companion to work with, a sacred container, to have some candles, and you need to obviously establish an altar. Like it's just crazy. It's such a well written book, honestly. I love all of the like little poems and the little sayings and little hymns and like different things like that. It's amazing. So now she does talk about working with tarot alongside this. And like I love like this, it's so neat how they have it set up where it's just like you can zoom in on things. Like it's really cool. So you can see it really good. Kind of give her a good look over. So I'm actually really enjoying it on Kindle to tell you the truth. And just a lot of different things to journal about, different things to ask yourself, right? Like she's got all these different prompts here, all these different things to consider to ask yourself about. She talks about sigils and making sigils and all the different sigils that are known to be connected to Hecate. I keep wanting to say Hecate, so maybe I should call her Hecate instead of Hecate. I don't know. We'll see. But I keep getting tongue tied and seeing that's like what was really important to me when I first began this journey is to figure out how like what resonates with me. How exactly do I want to say her name? Because to me that is extremely important and it's like starting off on the right foot, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna end up calling her Hecate instead of Hecate. I don't know. So if I go back and forth in this, I'm really sorry because I'm still not 100% decided on exactly what name I'm going to be calling her. Um, but here obviously is my bookmark, right? So this is kind of where I'm at right now. And it just I've scanned ahead, I've looked at different things, and it's amazing the information that is in this. Now, when it came to like as soon as she starts talking about tarot in this and working with tarot alongside in this, because this is a shadow, this is doing shadow work, this is going deep inside yourself, this is working with Hecate to come along to find the things that need to be changed, and coming out the other side, right? Going in through the cave, doing your discovering, figuring out what needs to be figured out, and then coming out on the other side aligned and anew, right? So definitely, definitely some powerful stuff. So the minute she started talking about decks and working with decks, my mind immediately started scrambling. And I was like, oh my God, like what deck do I own that I feel encompasses Hecate and that dark goddess, beautiful energy? Obviously, I wanted something that was a little bit of like I obviously wanted something that had black backgrounds, like something that was a darker deck and color, right? Even in energy, like she's a dark goddess, you know what I mean? So I kind of thought about the Marielle, but I was like, no, that doesn't quite feel quite right. If I was if I owned Tarot of the Crown, obviously that would be the number one deck I would turn to, but I have yet to get my hands on that deck. That is like the one that got away, one of like on my list of dream decks to own someday. But I am not paying $600 for it on eBay. That is ridiculous. So until I own that, I have to find something else, right? I mean, obviously, I own a copy of the Dark Goddess, but it's many dark goddesses, right? I felt like it was important to kind of have something that was more not multiple deities and dark goddesses, right? Like I kind of wanted something more narrowed down in a way, I guess you could say. I pulled out a couple, and like I said, I felt important for them to have black backgrounds. Like to me, that just made sense, right? So the first one that I kind of navigated towards was the Wanderer's Tarot. This to me kind of made sense. This is to me, this is a very witchy deck. I love this deck. I enjoy working with it. So naturally, I kind of thought, and like this kind of reminds me of like a tunnel or like a cave, right? So this was one that I was considering. And I felt like the simplicity of it in a way, like I don't feel like it's illustrated heavy. It's kind of got that darker energy, that darker feel, right? And I think it would be a really good choice. I really do. I feel like this is a very good possibility of being the deck that I'm going to take this journey with. I haven't worked with it in a little bit too, so I'm kind of due to bring it out and spend some time with it. But I do feel that this is very Kate energy. And there seems to be a lot of like kind of like almost cave entrances happening. Obviously, there's like a lot of witch hats, which go hand in hand with Hecate. It makes a lot of sense. So this is definitely, definitely a possibility. And I even like how it's like I'm doing shadow work, right? So it's like integrating all those different parts of me, right? And working with them. And I love how like the people seem like in pieces. So I don't know. This one's a pretty strong to do my journey with. So I'm feeling like this one's pretty powerful. I definitely feel this is one of my top selections. The other one I kind of went towards is the Intuitive Night Goddess. This has a lot of different goddesses in it, but none of them are like none of them seem to be associated with anything in particular. And I'm due to work with this one as well too. I feel it's beautiful. I mean, um, Hekate is known for her association with plants and the earth and animals and those type of elements. And I feel like this has that all in it. I feel this is a little bit softer guidance than the Wanderer's Tarot. I feel like the Wanderer's Tarot is like really, really like dark goddess energy. This one is as well, but obviously there's a like light in it as well too, right? So I feel like it encompasses both light and dark goddesses. I feel like it would be good, but it might not go as deep and dark as the Wanderer's Tarot will go. So I'm not 100% sure. I think like I don't know how I'm going to pick. Like the decks that I have set aside to do this, I have no idea how I'm going to pick because they're all amazing. And they're all due for me to work with. The most recent one, there's two that I've worked with fairly recently. But like I said, they're all due. They're all due to be brought out and to be worked with. But I don't know if this is the exact energy that I want for this. I feel like I'm still favoring the Wanderer's Tarot. But this is a beautiful, beautiful deck. And a great one to work with. Okay, so my other option, I kind of thought about the Klimt Tarot. But I'm undecided if I feel like a dark goddess energy from it. I do, but I don't know if it's exactly what I'm looking for. It's got the black backgrounds, which is good. I feel that this can go dark goddess. Like, honestly, I really do. But I don't know if it takes me on like a deep shadow path, if that makes any sense. This was the one out of all of them that I've worked with the most recent. I just worked with this one. This one has done healing, like healing work with me in the past. If you saw my video on my top 5 of 2023, this was part of my top 5 because I had gotten sick throughout the summer, and this one I did a lot of work with during that time and period. So this one definitely has that for me and has done that for me. I just don't know if this is going to be able to go into shadow work. I'm not sure if I'm feeling shadow work from it. I think I think I would be more drawn to do it with this one than the Intuitive Night Goddess. I think that this one I would choose over the Intuitive Night Goddess, but I think the Wanderer's Tarot is still sitting at the top for me. But this one has like, I'm just wondering if it's just a little bit too much geometric shapes and a little bit too bright colored, right? A little too abstract. I don't know if I get like that shadow journey feeling from it. But it's here and I'm looking at it, so let's see what other ones I grabbed. So the Outgrow Yourself kind of popped out at me. But once again, like, I'm not sure. This one is a pretty powerful deck to me. I love this deck. I get amazing readings from it. I get really good intuitive hits from it. It's just an awesome deck. But I do really enjoy this. And you know what? I think this could take me. I think this one could take me. Once again, we got the black backgrounds, which is really important to me. I think this one could do it. The thing is, though, is I don't use this one as a tarot. I know that it's um, a Thoth-based tarot, but it's also possible to be an oracle as well. I tend to use this one more as an oracle than I do a tarot, and I like to read what's going on the card, what it's saying, and then I'll look at the word to kind of sink it in further. But I use this one as an oracle, so maybe this one will be kind of set aside, and whatever tarot I pick, this will be the oracle that I put with it and I use with it. Or I could just read it straight up as a tarot and an oracle and have it do both the work, right? And only work with one deck. I don't know, I've got a lot of options, but I do feel like this is a deck of doing shadow work. I do own the Reclaim Oracle, but I don't feel like the Reclaim is what I'm looking for this. It was something that I did look at. I did consider pulling it out, but I don't think that it has Hekate energy to it, to tell you the truth. But I feel this one does. I do feel that this one does over the Intuitive Night Goddess and the Klimt Tarot. So I think this one and the Wanderers are right now in my top place. This is such a great deck. I've had amazing readings with this deck. I love it so much. So the next one I have is the Witch's Tarot. And I'm just looking at it, I'm thinking that this might end up being this one. I brought this one in October. I have yet to work with it. So I'm actually due to work with it. I know there's an actual Hecate card in here. I've shuffled it a few times. I used it a few times. I love, like, this is such a phenomenal. This is one of those textile experiences again. Like, it's just amazing. This deck is so thought out and just so beautiful. And like I said, I haven't worked with it at all yet. I did a couple of readings, and then that was kind of as far as I got with it. But I'm kind of like, I don't know, this one is pretty good. I am feeling this one. Like I said, it is time for it to be worked with. But I'm just trying to decide if there's enough in the images to to pull from. Do you know what I mean? To do that shadow work with, to go into with, right? And there is other goddesses in this. I mean, I could go through and I could remove the other goddesses, and I could remove the actual shade card and have that like sitting aside as kind of like putting it on my altar. I was trying to find like my words. I don't know if this is going to pull forward. I'm just trying to decide if there's enough in the images to take from. The images are gorgeous and they're beautiful, but I feel like the illustrations of the deck that I choose is going to be really important. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to give me like exactly what I want to do. The few times that I have used this, and like I said, it's only been a few times, I've used the Tantric Dakini with it, and it's wonderful. The Tantric Dakini to me, though, has a lot of Kali energy. But I guess just dark goddess energy in general. But it does have quite a few Kali cards in it. Yeah, I like it. I think we're on the right track. I'm just not sure if it's going to, the images are going to bring enough forward for me. But like, I mean, it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. I'm not saying that it's not. It's good. But is it perfect for my journey? I'm not sure. So, last but not least, I brought out the Telesma. I love the Telesma. I enjoy it so much. I've worked with it quite a few times in the past. I've spent quite a good amount of time with it, and I love it. And there's a lot to take from all of this. There's a lot to pull out of the images. The imagery it's like the images are so packed full of information and things to look at. But I don't know if it gives me that, or if it gives me the shadow aspect that I'm looking for. I'm not sure it gives me the Hekate energy I'm looking for. I do feel dark goddess energy from it, but I'm not so sure this is where I want to go, like what I want to journey with, right? And speaking of the Tantric Dakini is like the Outgrow Yourself, where it's a tarot and an oracle. It's both. It's double duty again. So I'm sorry I'm a little quiet. I'm just trying to really focus on the images and see if, like, they're what I want. If it's putting out the energy that I'm feeling. Or want to feel, I guess you should say. Like, to me, I feel like this is more of a Kali deck than it is a Hecate. Yeah. Well, we might as well look at the Tantric Dakini because, like I said, it's like the Outgrow Yourself where it's both. But when I see all the red on everything, it's like, to me that's Kali energy. Um, right here, first card is a Kali card. Yeah, like there's Kali again. So I feel like there's Kali again. But yeah, I don't think this is, yeah, that's too much Kali energy for me. So this one is definitely, not that there's a problem with that, but I'm looking for something really specific. So this one isn't going to work for me. Not for this. So honestly, I am really down to these three. I think these would all work. I'm just worried about being distracted by the women in the images and not necessarily getting like what, like, do you know what I mean? Like getting that information to come forward and it maybe possibly being um, kind of guided with these images and maybe not go as far into it, like into my intuition and into the way that I want things to surface and come forward. Where I feel the Wanderer's Tarot, the images are so minimal that it allows for that expansion and it allows for that information to come forward. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's kind of where I'm going with it. The outgrow yourself, though, I feel has the ability to do quite a bit too. I don't know, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to decide between one of these, I feel. Scanning my collection, don't feel like I have anything else that makes sense to do the work with. I feel like these ones I really get Kali energy, or I got Kali on my mind. Hekate energy with. I think that these are pretty good. I do have the Stunning Tarot, but I don't know. It doesn't have black backgrounds, and I really feel I want that black background, like that dark cave, like that darkness, right? That dark energy to come through. So I'm not even gonna bother because it's very bright and colored. It's very vivid. It's very bright whites and bright reds and bright purples. So I don't feel like that's the way I want to go. I feel like it's going to be one of these that I'm going to do that journey with. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just lay out spreads and kind of go through and just do a little bit of work with each one and see like which one comes forward for me and which one kind of does a better job, I guess. And it's just like for this situation, right? I mean, obviously these are all beautiful decks and they're all very useful. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll have to see which one I choose. Um, and I haven't gotten to the part yet where she talks about like where she talks about doing like any tarot work yet. But I feel like I mean I'm just at the beginning of this, right? See, she talks a lot about birds too, right? A lot about Persephone, a lot about deer. And I was trying to think if I have any decks that have like animal, like dark animal energy. And I don't think I have any dark animal energy. I don't even know if a dark animal energy deck exists. Like, I feel like the Brady would be too bright. It does have the black borders. You know what? I'm going to grab that and let's see. Let's take a look at the Brady. Oh, yeah, so like obviously she has a lot to do with animals, right? And a lot to do with dogs and the particular deer, a lot to do with different types of birds, a bunch of different things, right? So yeah, like she's got so many awesome things in here. I can't wait. I can't wait to get in here and start doing this. I've already started, like I said, I've already started, but I really want to get down and dedicate some time to it because as soon as New Year's is over and done with, I'm fully booked. So this will have to be all paused until the end of January. I think that this could do it. If I wanted to stick to like an animal deck, which kind of does make sense with Hecate, right? And I am due to work with the Brady. got the black borders and black backgrounds that I wanted for the most part. It's very earth connected. You know what? I think this is like, I think this has got a good chance. All right, well, now I just confused myself more. Well, maybe I'll have to pick a couple and just whichever one I feel like working with. Yeah, now I confused myself because I feel like this can do it too. And kind of makes sense being that animal energy. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I'm due to work with this one. I haven't gotten to work with it a whole heck of a lot. Not as much as I want to. All right, well, I'm going to put it over here in my pile of possibilities. So right now, just to kind of relook at, I'm looking at the Brady, the Outgrow Yourself, the Wanderer's Tarot, and the Witch's Tarot, which makes the most sense. However, I'm not so sure that the photos are going to bring me where I need to go. I rely really heavily on imagery and to be doing shadow work. I'm not sure if those photographs are going to pull that, like what needs to be surfaced and what needs to come forward out of it. So that's my only thing with that. So like I'll try my best to keep you guys up to date with what's going on with this. Like I said, it all depends on like how busy my schedule gets, right? With Indigo Moon. I'm going to be creating a journal and I'm going to be journaling along the way. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with that aspect of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone out there has read this book or has done the journey work with this book. She has a couple other books that she's done. If I can find them, one's entering Hecate's garden was the one that she did. And then there's another one that she's done too. Keeping her keys. So she's got keeping her keys and entering Hecate's garden. And then this one, which is once again entering Hecate's cave. There's the front of it. That's what it looks like. And just to give you an idea, so like the very first passage that comes out of it is this, and this is like the first thing that you pretty much read, right? After your index and all that. Like it's, she is the darkness and she is the fire. She is the cry of enough. She is the sigil written in stone. She is the silent walking away of the betrayed. She is the lonely raising arms to the moon. She is the lie told to live the truth. She is the secret circle drawing down her moon. She is the poison that heals. She is the bold stare into the mirror. She is the blood shed to bring rebirth. She is all those who dare to become. She is the power that is our right. She has returned. Answer her call. The time is now. Speak the truth and be healed. Like, how crazy, beautiful, strong is that? The minute I read that, I was like, okay, yeah, this is happening. Like, this is what we're doing. And even like her acknowledgement, like usually I skip acknowledgements, like not to be rude, but I do. I read her whole acknowledgement and was like glued to every word of it. Um, yeah, so I'm definitely going to be doing this journey. And, you know, if you watch my channel, you know, I've gone through some stuff. 2023, like a lot of people have, 2023 has been a horrible year. And I figured what a great way to begin end the year and begin a new year with doing this. So that's kind of where I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully my schedule allows me to do this because I really want to do this. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. If somebody out there has read this book and has done the journey through Hecate's cave, please let me know if you have, what your experience was. I mean, I know that it's a very personal thing, but I really want to know if anyone else has done this. If you are like me, where you've had a horrible year and there's been a lot of stuff surfaced and a lot of stuff gone wrong, and you're kind of at that point where things need to change or things need to advance or something needs to give, maybe you should be doing this journey with me and grabbing yourself a copy of this book and doing your own little journey through Hecate's cave, right? I'm very interested to see what is on the other side when I make it through and come out. And like I said, in here, she's got meditations, she's got some spell work, she's got some altar building, she's got some journaling stuff. She encourages, making your own sigils. Like, there's just a lot of stuff in here, and I'm so excited to do it. So, like I said, I'm going to try really hard to keep you guys up to date and to try to keep you guys with what's going on. But this is a very personal journey, so it's going to be there might not be a lot that I can share, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? But what a way to end the year and start a new one, eh? But yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully I've encouraged you to take this journey with me. Maybe you've been waiting for the call and this was it. If you've enjoyed yourself, subscribe, follow, like, all that stuff. Please comment if you've done this book, if you've read this book, you've done this journey through Hecate's cave. Please let me know. If you picked a deck to do the journey with, let me know which one you picked. Yeah, and even in the comments, if there's one you guys think out of the ones that I just showed you, if there's one that you think is going to do really well over the others, throw it down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I've got to kind of figure it out, right? So let me know what you're thinking. Well, thanks for joining me. And like I always say, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.